So you want to know what's happening with last week's trades, what's happening with next week's trades. You want to know when the euro US dollar is going to turn around and go up. You want to know what's happening with the Forex, what's happening with the index. Will the US 500 go up or go down? And today I'm going to take you to the charts and I'm going to show you what I think is going to happen with the markets and what happened last week on the markets. We'll go over the indexes, we'll go over the Forex, and we'll even go over the commodities. And we'll have a look at where the markets are going in the near future. This has been an interesting week, very interesting week last week. We had a reasonably good week. We posted the trades out, the members got all their videos, and they had a decent week, hopefully. Hopefully you guys did good, and it was a reasonable time. Now, before we get to the charts, just remember, trading is risky, and if you don't like risk and you don't like losing money, you probably shouldn't be trading. Just thought I'd let you know in on that, and I just thought I'd tell you about that. After we've been to the charts, we'll talk about how you can become a profitable trader and the 50-50 of trading in the markets, particularly the Forex game, the index game, the commodities game, geared trading, contracts, futures. How's your trading? How's it going with it? Let's have a chat. Guys, let's go to the charts. Let's go and see how the week was, and let's go and see how next week is going to be for us. And if it's a worthwhile trading week next week. There's lots of geopolitics in the air. There's lots of things going on. Let's talk about that after we get back from the charts. Let's talk about last week's trades and what happened and what we think is going to happen next week. So I'm not going to go into the details of how to trade or how to look at support and resistance and price action and that sort of thing today, because we do that during the week on our weekly videos where we talk about how to trade and the best way to trade with price action and not using indicators and becoming a profitable trader. So if you're new to this, it's Rob, and go and have a look at my videos. Come during the week and come and watch the weekly videos where I show people how you can trade and how you can become profitable. And also we have the live shows on Tuesday and Thursday where the community gets together and we have a wee chat. So join us for that as well. Anyway, so how are we looking this week and what's been going on? As you know, we took the short trade on the DAX because the FTSE wasn't giving us much of a trade. We wanted to go short on that, but it never really got there. So I took the DAX trade. That said, it is Friday now. These prices might have changed by the time you see them, but I'm just looking at the general overall picture. Now, what you see, I've moved my stop loss down into a positive down here at the plus $500 mark, so that if this goes back, we'll still make a profit, because what I noticed here on the DAX is it hit a solid support area, very solid support area, and it just look at the tail, how it hit it so hard. So for me, I'm looking at this and thinking, maybe this trade is done. Maybe it's not going to go any further. Maybe it's actually had enough. So while that's said, it could also continue on down from this level, because if you look, there's a bit of a trend line running down here. That's why I put the stop loss up there. So if it runs back, we still make a profit. Oh, well, bad luck. But if it carries on down, we'll follow it down and hopefully it'll make the bigger side of the trade. So next week, if it doesn't take out the stop loss, it should continue on to the downside. Remember, the risk to the downside is in our favor with the geopolitics that are on the go at the moment. There is a lot of geopolitics in the air, a lot of things going on in the world which could affect markets. Now, I don't see risk to the upside with that. If you're sitting on a short trade, I don't think you're going to come back on Monday and find your account blown or anything to that effect, because there's not enough upside, even for good news, to send the markets on a rampage on a Monday morning. But there is a lot of risk to the downside. If you're long on any of these trades, you could come back on Monday morning, and because your stop loss isn't taken out, because it won't be, the markets are being closed, you could end up blowing an account or something like that, because you sit here long on a Friday afternoon. You could come back on Monday and find the price somewhere down there. So just be very careful of any long trades in the geopolitical situations. The US 500 does appear to be looking to the long side, though. I wouldn't take a trade like this on a Friday afternoon, not my thing. As you know, I trade on the 4-hour charts. I don't trade on the 5-minute charts. So from what I can see here, it does look like it's going to continue on its long trade, because we do have this rather long bullish run, and it's kind of consolidated, and now it wants to continue on up. It broke through the resistance, which is now support. Looks like it kind of wants to bounce off the support. Look at these tails down here. It's creating a support on the 4-hour chart. So it's got its own major support level right here. And it kind of likes that support level. It looks like it wants to continue on along. If it breaks through that, or if you have some kind of geopolitical situation which causes it to go down, I'm no geopolitical expert, then it might just go to the downside. Looking at the Dow Jones, similar picture. You're not going to get much of a different picture from the NASDAQ or the Dow Jones. It'll be running along the similar lines. France 40, last I looked, it looked very short, but it is going long at the moment. It's bouncing. How far will it bounce? Doubt it'll go very far. I think it'll just sort of toddle on up to here and then continue on down to the main support level. So this will remain short for now. I don't think it'll be long. The Nikkei, bane of my existence this week, bit of a loss on this trade. And the way I look at this, it's gone into resistance and I still remain short. I still have a short bias to this. That's why I'm staying in the trade. It's in the resistance. It's bouncing around here. My stop loss is still way out there. And I think it can still come down all the way down to this area down here, which is a bit of a demand area. If it breaks through that, all the way down to the main support. We're not looking at Tesla and Nvidia this week. Gold is still long, still looking at the long trade here. Still happy to stay with a long trade here. The way I see gold will give us a nice profit. It has hit the top again. Every time it hits the top here, it wants to come back. You could actually just get out of this trade now and take the profit if you wanted to, but we're looking for bigger profits. So let's see what goes on here. But I'm just a little bit concerned that it's not getting past this resistance level here. It's holding it back a lot. US oil went to the moon yesterday, shot straight up. So US oil has definitely become a long trade. So look out for nice long trades there. If I remember yesterday, it actually broke through Brent, broke through the resistance. So now you've got a long trade. There's your long green candle. You've got a long trade coming out with Brent. Not good news for the petrol price in the least. I had someone ask me, when's Euro US dollar going to turn? Dude, if you're watching this video, Euro US dollar is going to turn when it hits the support. It has hit the support with this tail. So there is a good chance of it turning around. But, you know, you've got to look at the trends and you've got to look at where you stand. It should still be in a bullish trend in the macro trend. So just watch out for it breaking the structure and becoming bearish. You can still take short trades on this if it breaks through the support. But with it being on the support, my bias would be for it to turn on the support and maybe start going back up. That said, remember, breaks through the support, it's short. But I won't trade this as it stands at the moment. I'll wait for a better confirmation on this one. Maybe wait for it to break the structure of this running down this way. We've got the great British pound, US dollar, similar to the euro US dollar. Your support's lying down here. You actually want it to get down to the support before you take the long trade, or at least break the structure that it's running down in. The US dollar, Japanese yen, I'm short on that, taking a bit of a loss on that one as well. Okay, but look at this. It hit the resistance. Couple of little tails here. Looks like it's at the top, and it looks like it's going to continue on to the downside, taking us down to the main support down at the bottom here. And then we've got the Euro Great British Pound. Euro Great British Pound is doing a very similar thing. It's bouncing out of the resistance and heading on to the downside. This was a fantastic long yesterday. Anyone who took it, I actually called it long for some other odd reason and it did that. But anyway, wonderful stuff. You either got it or you missed it. But that long tail said that's enough of that. And it's come back through the resistance. And that's not a good sign for the long trades. So just keep your eyes out for this. It looks like it might want to go short back down to a level further down here. So just be careful of the Euro Great British Pound. And then we have a double top which is developed here on the US dollar CAD. While I would have called this a long trade, just be very careful of the double top developing at the top here. Could call it short again later on, but it did come down into this nice demand level and shoot straight out. Nice long trade. We're short on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Still remains short because of this head and shoulders that developed here. There's the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and it normally plays out to the same length as the head. So I'm expecting it to get down to this level here. Although this is sort of consolidating, this is almost like a bit of a pennant, and it's going to just continue on and resolve to the downside. For those of you that trade Bitcoin, hasn't been a good run for you. Bitcoin broke out of its trend, it broke structure, and it's heading to the downside at the moment. I think it may get down to 52,000, but that's just my call. You know, you never know. Nikkei, like I say, still looking like it wants to come down short. Gold, still looking like it wants to continue on long. Let's hope so. We'll see how we go. So yeah, that's the way I think the markets are going to go next week. That's what I see happened last week. Just be very careful of all the geopolitics. Like I say, those can be a real pain and they can hurt your trading rather badly. So don't get caught up in all that. What I find the worst thing to hold over a weekend would be a currency, because you never know which way that's going to go. The indexes are more obvious. You know, if you have something go wrong in the world, then being short in an index won't be the end of the world. But if something goes wrong in the world and you're on the wrong side of a currency pair, you just never know what that's going to do to you. So be careful of that. Watch out for the weekend trades. Try and get out of them if you can, especially with the things that are going on at the moment. So you've seen the charts. We've had a look. We've had a look at whether we're going up, whether we're going down, whether we're going sideways, what's going to happen in the world. But we've got a lot of geopolitics happening this week and over the weekend. And I always say, don't keep your trades over the weekend if you can help it. But if you're on the right side of the trade, maybe it would work out for you, because what you've got to look at the end of the day, what you've got to look at that's really, really, really important is if you're on the short side of an index trade and we're going into some heavy geopolitics, the upside's not that big that you're going to come back on Monday morning and the markets would have gone to the moon. I doubt that very much. I don't think the upside is there. I think there's more risk to the downside with the result of anything going wrong over the weekend. So if you're on the short side of the trade, not really a big worry, not the end of the world. You're not going to wake up and find your account blown or broken or whatever the case. But if you're on the long side of an index trade, I wouldn't recommend holding it over the weekend, coming back on Monday morning to see what it looks like, because you just never know what's going to happen. These geopolitical things normally happen over the weekends, and they normally cause a lot of pain. So just be very careful with that if you are trading in the markets. Remember, trading is a 50-50 game. Most of you don't agree with me on that. Some of you do. There's a lot of guys who see me say trading's a 50-50 game, and then they try and argue the point, and they don't understand that the market's made up of buyers and it's made up of sellers, and everybody's got a chance of winning. So it makes it a 50-50 game at the end of the day. What causes you to win and lose in the markets, as you know, and as I've told you 100 times, is the fear. The fear in your mind, the psychology of getting around your trading strategy. And it's simple. Just have a simple business plan, and that's it. And that is, make sure you lose the same amount on every single trade, or the same amount of stop loss, same amount of invalidation point. So in other words, if you're prepared to lose $1,000 on every single trade, keep it at that. Don't make it more. Don't change it to a higher amount because you think you can trade one instrument better than another, or another trade looks better than another. Keep all the stop losses the same. That's how much you pay for your trades. Okay, each trade costs you the same amount of money. That way, you'll agree with me that if you take 10 trades, in all probability, there's a chance you'll lose 5, and in all probability, there's a chance you'll win 5. The chances of you losing all 10 are pretty insane. The chances of you winning in all 10 are even more insane, because if you've been trading in the market for any length of time, you and I both know that that is insanity. So we all know that we take losses and that we learn to lose trades. That's what I've been showing you guys all along, that you've got to become a good loser. You've got to learn to take loss. You've got to learn to understand that if your trade's gone into a loss, you need to take the loss and you need to walk away from it, not sit there going, oh, I'll just add more to the loss. I'll just add more to the loss and hedge down. That doesn't work. It always fails. So if your trade goes into stop loss, you take the loss, you go away. If it doesn't go into stop loss and it goes into profit, then you follow the profit. And if it goes $1,000 into profit, you take your $1,000 stop loss, you bring it up to break even, and you follow the trade even further. If you see a new trade developing in your trade and it looks good, then add to the trade, put more in the trade. If you don't want to add to the trade, just lift your stop loss up and follow it up $1,000 behind the trade. Make as much of a win as you possibly can on each and every trade. That's what the game is all about. That's what the strategy is all about. It's all about overcoming your fear. You know, when your fear takes hold the most is when you're actually in a profit. When you actually see a profit on your charts and you actually see that you're actually making money. That's when fear kicks in. You know what? You actually take the profit too early. You run with a profit because a profit's a profit, and the market carries on running in it. You could have made 3-4 times the amount that you actually made. You left so much profit on the table. And that's all a result of your fear. Your fear tells you to get out. What makes you add to your losers? What makes you add to a losing trade? What makes you add to a losing trade is the fear of losing that money, the fear of actually taking that loss. So before you take the trade, make sure that you've made the decision already to take that loss. before you take it. Guys, don't forget, I've got a free Forex book for you in the description. Go and grab it. Totally free. It's there for you. Go and enjoy it. Go and download it. Also, I got trade of the day every single day for you guys. I put it out there. I put it on the blog, and it's just trading ideas. It's not trading advice, and it's just so that you can compare and figure it out. For the members, I got a whole list of where I think the trades are going to go every day, and I put a video out in the mornings for those members as well. And there's a few other perks and things that I get if they've got a membership on the YouTube, so that's actually quite cool as well. So give that a hit. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great weekend. This is just the weekend video, just to tell you what's happening in the market, what's not happening in the market, and what I think is happening in the market. It's just my opinion. I'm not a guru. I'm just here to give my opinions to you guys with my 30 years of trading experience to help you along. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to come back and watch Monday's video. Join us for the live videos next week, and don't forget to watch the previous videos so that you can learn to become a profitable trader. Cheers, guys. Thanks, and bye.